Okay. I just did the what was it Vigar video, and what's the next deck? Nami Fizz, the deck I said in the last video. Also, I guess 2 videos now, that this was going to be a banger deck. So I'm excited to see what it's going to be. I think this is going to be what I think this is going to be S tier soon. Honestly, I think this is going to have a huge impact on the meta. I think a lot of these decks are A tier now because they don't want to put them S tiers too soon. But obviously Fizz, Nami. Um, if you don't know what Nami does, go look it up. I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going through the deck right now. But the idea is that she buffs up all your followers. Every time you cast a spell, you flip with spell now. Fizz, every time you cast a spell, you can counter a spell targeting him and make him elusive. And so he's very slippery, very annoying. Going into the deck, we have this Octopus where you get a prank, and then you have create a tiny spear or tiny shield in hand, which is pretty fair, and they're focused. So it's not the greatest thing, but it's there. Um, Next is Strike, 2 mana, 1/2, create a Hungry Owlcat. Okay, let's look at what Owlcat. Whoa, sorry. 2/1. Ooh, in hand, 1 mana. Ooh, okay. This deck is looking pretty solid right now. Manifest. Wait, 2 mana, 2/2. Play manifest a spell from your regions that cost 3 or less. 2/2. Ooh, yeah, I know this isn't the darkness deck also, and it's a pretty solid card, right? Creating card draw are very important to keeping everything up. This is a one interesting. Kelp Maidens. Create a prank in hand. Okay. 2 mana, 3/2. When I'm summoning, if you cast a spell, disrupt, get me elusive. That's a pretty strong card. I think this was one of the newer cards that I was like, this is going to be a good one with Nami. And then Huge Jump, no 3-drops. Who needs them? When I'm summoning, create 2 pranks in hand for mana 4/3. Okay, we have Classic. When I'm summoning, draw a spell that costs 3 or less. 4 mana 2/2 with a tone and elusive. Strong. Fleet Admiral Shelley. I think this is a new one. Elusive, a tone, 5 mana 3/3. Every 2 spells you play in a round grant other allies +1/+1. Really good with Fizz. Pretty late game though. Wiggly Burblefish. Right, 6 mana 2/1. Reduce my cost by 1 each spell you cast in this game. When I'm summoning, create in hand a 1-cost spell from your regions. It's a 2/1 elusive. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Then you have Parlay, only 1. Grow an ally to 3/3. Manifest in Octopus of 1 of 2 spells from using that cost. Okay, that's pretty good. And then you have obviously Hidden Pathways that cost 2 less from creating cards. This hand draw 2. This is kind of underwhelming. This kind of sucks. This is not what I thought the deck would be like, if I'm being honest. And it's kind of surprising. Now, there's a lot of cards that create spells, so I understand why you don't need too many spells. But I would instantly take out a Parlay for Hidden Pathway if you're just going to have 1 Parlay, right? Because I would rather have 2 Hidden Pathways than a single Parlay and 1 Hidden Pathway. I think that's my big problem with the deck right off the gate. I'm not too crazy about a lot of their decisions here also. I understand why they made them, but I think they could have done a better job. Like, honestly, they're kind of flooding the board, right? That's the idea, is, you're going to have a lot of small people attacking hard, and you have Nami to buff them. Which is fine. I just, it's kind of like, you play this, you get a spell. So then Nami can buff them, or use a spell to help Fizz. And that's kind of what they're doing here. I think the problem is that I really don't like Purple Berry Shake. I think this is a card that I find very underwhelming. That I'm like, okay, you buff someone up to 3/3, that could make a huge difference. Except for, I think later on, it's going to fall off super bad. And then it just becomes a card where it's like, oh, like buff them. Like, it's kind of lame. So I think you could definitely get better burst spells, honestly. And now this is me just I'm just critiquing this deck. Because honestly, my biggest problem is this deck is pretty expensive. Also, because you have a lot of purples, you have a lot of rares, and I think most people might have like 3 Fizzes, but you have to make 3 Namis. But if you've been playing a while, you probably have Fizzes. But if you're new, you probably have to craft both of them. And it's just, it's like they're just trying to use a lot of new cards. And I think that's my problem with these decks. It's like, it's catering too much. This is the second deck in a row that I've seen that's like, because this is the same thing with the Darkness one, is that they want to use as many new cards as possible. And I think this deck could be a lot better if you weren't weighed down with that. I feel like you have to use some of these, but I think you could make this deck a lot better. I would say this version of the deck not worth it. Even if I think someone could probably sit down and make this a better deck. I think I will try to make this a better deck. But I don't have enough essence. I literally just used so much essence on a bunch of other cards a week ago just to make different decks to play with and try to get back into ranked. And so now when this new stuff released, I was kind of just going to write it out. I didn't want to do anything too crazy and just hard buy a deck like this, because I think that would suck. I think this deck is pretty bad. If I'm being honest, I think just looking at this deck being A tier, I would probably put it B tier at most. But that's just my opinion. I'm just going to keep going down Mobilytics and see what kind of decks they got. So I'll see you guys later.